Okay, so in 1993 you started working in the construction company that your father-in-law owns. As when working in a company, how did you find the state of the Tohoku region and its economy?
Well, we are in a very isolated part of Yamagata. Yamagata is often called the Tibet of Japan. But my town, Mogami Town, is called the Tibet of Yamagata. So, there's very little industry. We have hot springs and agriculture. But by far the biggest industry in town was public works. In a town of, at the time, 12,000, I think we had 80 construction companies.
80?
Yes. 35 who did general contracting.
Okay.
Okay? And the other 45 were pure subcontractors.
Okay.
Okay? But the politics were, of course, dominated by construction companies. They still are, even now. And I could very clearly see what the LDP had done when, after rapid growth period had ended with the oil shock. Right after that, Tanaka decided to reshape the Japanese archipelago, famous Retto Kaizoro, saying we can't just focus on industry in the cities. We have to, in order to keep power, we have to make friends with the country people and to give them a decent lifestyle. I think they used to say if a country person has 80% of the income of a city person, then they will stay in the country.
Right.
Okay? And the way they transferred income to Tohoku and probably other parts like Shimane and other Inaka countryside was not just public works and a high rice price.
Right.
Okay? Because in my company, in Yamaguchi Construction, every worker was also a rice farmer. Okay? So the company shut down for 1 week in the spring and 1 week in the fall. Okay? And most of them did only rice and a few vegetables. Just. Okay? But of course the rice didn't make much money, but it didn't lose much money either. Made a little money. But having the income from the construction job allowed all these families to continue rice farming, okay, and to keep the community together. So, and as a result of that, indeed, the countryside, even in my town, was much wealthier than, for example, most country towns in the United States. Everybody had a new house and 2 cars, and, okay, traveling overseas and traveling to Sendai. But I understand that my town was once a very, very poor place. It's high in the mountains, so they often have cold summers and cannot harvest the rice. Okay? So for hundreds of years, the tenant farmers, kosakuni, tenant farmers, were heavily in debt to the landlords. Okay? But when they borrow too much and can't pay it back, they give their daughter, and the landlord sells the daughter on down the Mogami River, just like in Oshin. And actually Oshin no Sato, Obanazawa, Kinzan Onsen, okay, is just across Nategiri Toge from my town.
Okay.
Okay? So we had, we sold daughters, we threw unwanted babies in the river, okay? And we put old grandmas on top of the mountain to die.
Ubasteyama.
Yeah, it was very poor place. So you can't be too critical of what Tanaka did. He really did give these very, very poor people a respectable, civilized, modern life. Okay? But in my eyes, it was obviously not sustainable. There's no way that Japan can continue to feed the countryside like this forever. Okay? So when I joined that construction industry, it was very, very profitable. Okay?
Was it?
For the first 8 or 9 years. The biggest worry was how to reduce your tax bill. Okay? So every March we have big bonuses and take fancy company trips, or maybe buy some new heavy equipment, which we can depreciate, shokyaku, very quickly. Of course, the battle for work, to get work, was of course all done through bid rigging. But everybody misunderstands. I think it's nakayoshi. It's not nakayoshi at all. It's like the balance of power.
Oh,
okay.
See?
Of course. You know, but it's a circle of people who are doing something illegal. So you have to even let the weakest guy live. You can't kill him. Ikazu korusazu. Don't let him live. Don't let him die. It's okay. But so it's highly political. You know, just like political factions. You know, this guy is coming at your territory, so you join with this guy and this guy to, you know, in a coalition. Okay, and you lie and you cheat and deceive and do any bribe, do anything to. So it's a great battle, and for me to experience that as a white person was a very unique experience, and they all accepted me, and I was good at it. I mean, I didn't steal people's work. I protected my own work, and if somebody tried to take my work, I slapped them very hard, and they learned that it's best not to mess around with Yamaguchi Steve. Okay, that's the most important thing about bid rigging is you cannot let people disrespect you.
Right.
Okay, if they think you're weak, they'll take all your work. So you have to be strong.
Okay.
Okay, but so I learned a lot about Japanese politics by doing that in Yamagata. Now, of course, all the construction companies supported the LDP, and it was unthinkable not to support the LDP. The LDP, for example, to our Construction Industry Association, said sell 500 party tickets.
Right.
And the OB, the Amokudari OB, the bureaucratic retiree in the association would say, okay, this guy's, you know, his sales are 20 million a year, so he buys 50 tickets. This guy is 5 million a year, so he has to buy 10 tickets. Nobody asks, will you buy a party ticket? Here's your tickets, pay.
Automatic.
Yeah, of course. And once a year, you know, give us names of 5 people for LDP party membership. Okay, and pay the fees. So we'd use our employees' names and not even tell them. But you know, as long as we pay, that's okay. And then when it's time for election, they don't say, Steve, will you put up posters? They say, Steve, put up posters. You know, and give us you have a big black car, loan us the car. Okay.
At that time, election system was mid-constituency?
At the very first, it was still
Still.
Middle-sized.
So even the LDP members battle each other. So they
Yes.
Compete for votes.
Yeah, but we had a pretty good understanding in our area of which of the LDP candidates was in charge at the.
Okay.
We had Chikaoka Riichiro.
Oh.
Okay, and Kato Koichi. He stayed in Shonai. He didn't come. But now he comes.
Okay. Thank you.